What's up everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving into a word of advice, keeping women safe. Now, before I get into this is a show in Australia, it's called The Project. I believe it's no longer on the air, I don't watch TV so I couldn't tell you. What I can say is that this happened back in 2018, a young girl was murdered, and these guys, this company, the Project, the Channel 10, whoever's writing for the show and whoever produced the show, used this as an opportunity to basically make all men look like monsters. And you'll see what I mean in a second with what was said and how it was done. I'm going to give you a play-by-play as we go, but this one's going to be a good one. And this one, honestly, is really worth thinking about. This was done back in 2018, remember. Let's start. So like, subscribe, share, comment, all that stuff. Let's get going.
Now, I wanted to take a minute here, if I could, to talk about the advice that's been given in the wake of Eurydice Dixon's death.
Before we continue, this is Lisa Wilkinson. I believe that she quite recently sued Channel 10, which is the channel that this is on. I'm not sure the exact reason behind it, but I know that it apparently ruined her career. I'm very happy about that, and I think that it's well deserved. This woman, in my opinion, is a demon.
Every day, women are told how to behave, what to wear, where to go, and where to avoid for their safety. And I'm not sure we should be listening to every word of advice. If you're a woman living in 2018, you'll be very familiar with this advice.
Take responsibility for your safety. Make sure that you have situational awareness. Make sure that people know where you are, and that, you know, if you've got a mobile phone, carry it.
People need to be aware of their own personal security.
This time...
Okay, so that's just good basic advice for everybody, not just women, but men alike. That's just basically taking care of yourself while out in public. Continuing on.
The advice was delivered by police after the alleged rape and murder of 22-year-old Eurydice Dixon, but it's a sentiment we've heard before.
I suggest to people, particularly females, they shouldn't be alone in parks. We just need to be a little bit more careful, a little bit more security conscious.
That advice came after the 2015 murder of 17-year-old Melbourne schoolgirl Marsha Vukotic, who was stabbed 49 times in daylight during her early evening walk.
This was another one that was murdered around the same time. I believe it was probably a year or more before this one. There was another one that they'll go into that also, like, as you can see from this segment, they're showing woman after woman being murdered. And as we see the news today, something about this smells like a psyop.
I feel like when men are attacked, it's all about the attacker. It's all about he's a coward punch, what is wrong with this guy, who behaves like that. And then when women are attacked, it's all about the victim. Why was she there? Who does that? Who walks alone in a park?
The thing is...
Says who? Says you. There was no public sentiment about that at the time.
Both these women most likely took that all too familiar advice. We know Eurydice had her mobile phone with her and let people know where she was, because the last thing she did was message her partner. I'm almost home safe. How about you? And while Marsha was alone and wearing headphones, chances are she was being both careful and vigilant, because she's a woman, and that's what we all have to do.
Okay, so women are careful and vigilant. How come, if that's the case, there's so many women that just happen to find all of the most abusive men in the world and then divorce them and take half their stuff, including their kids? Very funny.
I try and avoid public transport as much as I can. I actually have crossed the road and avoided walking in back streets before, because there's been probably a totally innocuous person trailing behind me and I've been nervous.
We're told we're not allowed to walk home by ourselves at night. I've also been told to watch what you're wearing.
You're a woman. You are the weaker of the species if you don't have a man with you. And even if you do have a man with you, you should be taking care of your safety and the safety of those around you.
There's so much advice, so many rules around what we should do and what we shouldn't.
Rules, basic advice. Everything that's been mentioned thus far has been very basic safety advice.
It's hard to keep track of just how we're supposed to keep ourselves safe. Don't go out at night, don't walk alone, don't wear short skirts, don't draw attention to yourself, don't find yourself near strange men.
Our teacher in Year 9 told us that if we were ever being raped, we should tell our attacker that we are doing a poo.
Now look, I don't know if that's good advice or not. To be honest, if you're one of those, which I'll probably have to bleep all of this out to keep my channel up on YouTube, but if you're one of those, I don't think you're concerned with fecal matter. I think that you've got other things that are wrong with you that are driving your urges. I don't think that that's really going to stop much. I hope it does. If there's any success cases, please let me know. I'd love to advertise that. Anything that can help them not have that happen to them, absolutely.
Sounds ridiculous, right? But these are things women have to seriously consider on a daily basis. Every single day, we're assessing potential threats around us. Often we get that awful feeling in the pit of our stomach, a feeling Eurydice and Marsha, not to mention Anita Cobby and Jill Maher, no doubt felt when their young lives were cut short. These are names we shouldn't know. These women and so many others like them should be out there just going about their lives, spending time with their families, being a wife, a mother, a sister, a daughter, a friend, just like you and me. Already this year, 31 women in Australia have been murdered.
Okay, so out of millions and millions and millions of women that are in this country, 31 have been murdered, okay, in 2018, up until the point of this show. Now, I'm not saying that's a good thing, that's horrible, but, I mean, probability and statistical, like, looking at that from that angle, it could be a lot worse, and I'm sure there are many countries having it much worse than this.
All but 3 of those were allegedly killed by male perpetrators. Women killed at the hands of violent men. Yet it's women who are being asked to change their behaviour.
No one asked you to change your behaviour. Everything that's been mentioned before this point, as I said, was basic safety advice. Not just for women, for men. Anyone can apply this advice.
Look, I have huge sympathy for the police. They're tasked with the impossible job of keeping us all safe. So of course they're going to say anything they can to do that.
A quick pause to remind you that you can unlock my full-length exclusive videos on Patreon for just $2 a month. That's hours of premium content, behind-the-scenes extras, and more, all for less than a cup of morning coffee. If you love this channel, this is the ultimate way to dive deeper and support in the production of way more epic videos that I have coming down the line. Join now at patreon.com/CW/TeddyGoneRogue. Link is also in the description of this video. Let's keep the good times rolling.
The problem is when they say this.
Take responsibility for your safety. Make sure that people know where you are, and that, you know, if you've got a mobile phone, carry it.
Wait, that was the problem? The problem was general safety advice?
Did you hear that?
Yes.
We're the ones who have to take responsibility.
Yes, every person has to take responsibility for their own safety. Are you only realizing this, Lisa Wilkinson? Now, we all know that isn't true. We all know this has absolutely been scripted. She's reading this off a teleprompter right now, okay? And if you heard just then, they just queued up very emotional music all of a sudden. I wonder what this might lead to.
They're focused on how to prevent this crime at the individual or micro level. If one woman doesn't walk at night, that one woman won't be attacked. But the problem with giving this...
Oh, she's tearing up because the teleprompter told her to tear up.
The problem with giving this advice is that it keeps that one woman safe at the expense of all women's right to move freely. We need our leaders to think and speak at the macro level. And the best way to prevent this crime and keep all women safe isn't by changing the behaviour of women, but by changing the behaviour of men.
And this was where she started to demonize men.
This might upset some people, but honestly, parents, instead of telling our girls not to walk through parks, maybe we should be telling our boys not to rape them.
What? Yes, because there's so many boys out there that are just going to go ahead and rape women. I blurred that out, I'm sure, because I will have to for this video. This is horrible to do to all men in general, especially like all the little boys. This was on at 7 p.m. This was not on late, okay? People watch this with their kids. A bunch of little boys saw this message, okay? What did it do to them? How did it make them feel? What did it make them think about themselves?
Margaret Atwood, the author who wrote the dystopian feminist novel The Handmaid's Tale more than 30 years ago, captured the imbalance we're talking about here when she remarked, "Men are afraid that women will laugh at them."
Lisa, you're a horrible actress. I just want to let you know, I'm so glad you didn't go into acting because this is bad. This is really unconvincing.
Women are afraid that men will kill them.
Yeah, women are just walking around afraid men will kill them. Okay, now, I wish I could have covered more in this YouTube video, to be honest. However, I'm going to have to cut it there for everyone that's on YouTube, BitChute, and Rumble. If you enjoyed the content and want to see the rest of this, which I highly suggest you do, head over to my Patreon page. You can see the full video as well as full videos of everything else, exclusive content, everything else. Don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, share your thoughts in the comments down below. And I look forward to connecting with you, look forward to talking to you. You can send me messages, whatever. For my amazing Patreon supporters, we're going to keep going now. I appreciate your support. Let's go.